trade my joy for my protection.
Hey guys, what's up? So I wanted to post something that is meaningful to me. I mean, trauma is meaningful to me just because it helps heal me. And I've been on like a spiritual journey since 2016 of healing trauma bonds, pretty much. So that's what I'm going to talk about, because it's really important to understand that when you're in a narcissistic relationship or just a trauma bond in general, there's different ways that you can perceive it to be. You can perceive it to be gaslighting, when pretty much somebody is making you believe or telling you that what you think happened in a situation is not true, and the circumstances that you think happened, that did happen, aren't true, and it makes you question the entire relationship. It makes you question yourself. It makes you lose trust in yourself. It makes it really hard to keep your sanity, especially when you don't understand what's going on, why this happened, why that happened, why they left, why they came back, why blah, 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 blah. You know, you question everything and you get so confused. And like, that's what the abuser, that's what we're going to say, the abuser, the kidnapper, because it has to do with trauma bonds, it has to do with relationships. And it has an effect with people that are kidnapping other people as well, children, everything. Because you can, when you grow a relationship or when you grow a bond with somebody and you have feelings of trust or, you know, kind of like an obsession of the whole craving of the relationship aspect that you guys have together. So when you're in a trauma bond, it can feel like the gaslighting or Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is pretty much what I just said. When you have feelings of intimacy or regular emotions for a person that is your abuser, that you start to trust what they say, everything like that. So if you've been kidnapped as a child and you don't have a mother or father, and you have this mother figure and this father figure, and they're telling you this and feeding you information, you grow that bond with them. It can also be a sexual relationship if you're like, I don't want to use children, so I'm going to use teenager. If you were like a teenager and an older person, you know, kidnaps you and you're with them for over 10 something years, even 2 years, and you grow a kind of like, do I want to use the word monogamous, like some kind of relationship, like where you end up trusting what they're saying, you know what I mean? And it brings you into this vicious cycle of, you know, walking on eggshells and wanting to be scared, like you're scared that you're going to do something wrong to set off this person or get yelled at or something like that. And this can also come from childhood. Obviously, it's inner child as well. If you were walking around in your home thinking that, you know, you were going to get yelled at for doing this and doing that, and you were scared like I was, this is a huge trigger for me, then it's harder as well to not think this in an abusive relationship. So you would go from, you know, walking on eggshells to the actual incident of abuse, then reconciliation of, I'm sorry, I'll never do it again, I love you, blah, 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 and it brings you into that calm phase. And when you're in the calm phase, because you're in a calm phase and they've said, you know, I love you, whatever, and you're in that, out of that stress hormonal cortisol, and you're into like a dopamine like mindset, feeling good, you know what I mean? So you kind of like forget the abuse, you forget how much shit you've been through with this person, you forget how much you were hurt, but you still have the trauma, but it's like the numbing of the abuse, you like don't realize it. And chaos attracts chaos. If you've been like me, if you've been a part of a household that was all chaos 24/7, like you're gonna be used to the addictive nature of the adrenaline rush, of the fighting, of the emotional roller coaster. It's crazy, but it's really true, because that's your comfort. That's your comfort is that's your comfort. It's like your go-to kind of feeling, like the stress, and then going to the because you guys are like back to like talking and everything is good. But then you go back into you guys can fight a little here and there, whatever. And then it's like the build up of, okay, I have to walk on eggshells because something's going to happen. And then law of attraction steps in. It's like, bam, yep, something happened, bam, in your face, abuse. Sorry, back together, calm phase, forget, right? So it's different from Stockholm Syndrome and it's different from gaslighting because this is more of it's a cycle of abuse is in all types of relationships like that. But a trauma bond also is when I describe it as I think is that like when you've had a traumatic relationship with a person, like if you've had a miscarriage with a person, like you shared that trauma with that person. Like, so like even with my ex, right, like something would happen and it was like something that only he would understand. Like he was the only one and he'd be in jail or whatever and we wouldn't even be together. And like I'd go visit him and be like, I don't know how to like deal with this, you're the only person. And he'd be an asshole and be like, fuck you, pretty much. And I'd have to go figure it out on my own. 555. But it's like and it's 9:55. The clock, where is it? I don't feel like it. It's like 9:54. It's gonna be 9:55 in like a second. It's funny. That's awesome. Anyways, I'm gonna have to look up that number after I get off this. But yeah, so trauma bond is pretty much, it's described as the fear, excitement, sexual feelings, and sexual physiology of misusing from an entanglement of another person. So this person is purposely doing this, entangling you, 9:55, into a relationship of this misusing of sex and excitement, fear. Also, the same adrenaline rush of fear is the same of excitement. So it's like when you get that adrenaline rush, you have the choice to decide if it's going to be fear or excitement. You know what I mean? It's pretty much just a strong emotional attachment, like I said. Hold on one second. Okay. It's pretty much just like a strong emotional attachment between you and the abused person, the abusive person that is formed into that abusive cycle. It's that result of it. You know what I mean? Tension. Oh, crap. Sorry. Okay. I want to say Stockholm Syndrome also is kind of like a survival trauma response reaction, because if you're kidnapped, right, the only thing that you can really think of to do is form a relationship with your kidnapper in order to even be any type of happy or like have that survival instinct, like, oh, okay, they won't kill me if maybe I, whatever. Like, it's crazy, but it's like that's like not trauma bond. I mean, but the thing is that in a trauma bond, even though you hate being in a fight, even though you hate the up and downs, you are addicted to it. You are addicted to the emotional roller coaster. And it's like also on top of it, you actually feel rewarded in a way. It's like winning a trophy because it's like either you win a fight or it's like an award of, okay, I got through this situation, like, go me. I won him back, I won her back, like, go me. It's like that kind of like feeling as well. It's nuts. And you're sitting there and you're like, I don't understand how to even get out of this situation. And every time you try to leave, it's like when you engage in the relationship, you allow yourself to be abused because you feel like you're getting something out of it. And it's like you could even be rewarded with sex. Now this is where it comes in for me. Let me just take a deep breath. Hold on. Okay. Sex is my trauma bond. It's not even the person. I've said before, the energy, separate the energy from the person. Sex is the energy of my trauma bond. So I have not had sex with anybody in a very long time, just for the fact that I know that it fucks my head up. It fucks me up. It's not good for me. I'm a very isolating person as it is already, but being isolated is easier for me to be manipulated if I'm holding on to my abuser, or if I'm holding on to the abuser for hoping that they're going to come and have sex with me. You know what I mean? It puts me in a very vulnerable situation where the minute, the drop of a hat, if my abuser or whatever, who I'm in this relationship with, that I feel like I can't get out of and I don't understand. And again, it's because of the addiction. Like, I can go and date somebody else. I could go and try to date somebody else, but if I could be like, oh, they're boring. Why are they boring? I don't know, they just are. In my brain, subconscious, it's like, because they're not fighting with you. You're not fighting. You're not having that dopamine stress. And it's like, I realized in 2016, like, this situation, like, it literally can get you so sick. Like, I went from 160 pounds to 109 pounds in a couple of months because I could not swallow, because my immune system was all frigged up and my throat was closing up. But I've known people that have lost their limbs, their hearing, they have eczema, acne, their scalp on their face, arms, and it just is, it's crazy. But when you're feeling stuck in a kind of relationship like this and you can't figure out why, you don't understand, you can't see a way out of it, and every time you do try, you end up missing that person so much, and there's just like a longing to see them, that's when it's like, okay, if you see one of your friends going through this and you don't understand why they're like this is a trauma bond. Okay? Like, be supportive of them. There are warning signs, so if you feel like you are in one, I wrote down some warning signs as well. And some healing techniques. The healing techniques is literally like grieving, journaling, therapy, expressing yourself, and being patient with yourself and loving yourself again. Those are like the main things, because when you're going through something like this, like with me, nobody knows my relationships. Why? Because they're trauma bonds. Why? Because my inner child. Why? Because my sexual, intimate, like, thinking, belief. Separate the energy from the person. Don't look at the person. Look at their energy. Feel their energy. Feel their energy. Look at the person if you want to look at it like that. But feel the energy. Look at the person. So you have that tangible whatever, but you're feeling, which is the one that you don't want to feel when you're hurt. You're manipulated. Like, if you feel like you cannot leave the situation and you feel stuck, you are in a trauma bond. Like, legit, you are in a trauma bond. Like, you're in a trauma bond. Like, if you find yourself walking on eggshells because you're going to do something wrong that they think they consider is wrong, you're in a trauma bond. If you feel like you can't get out of the situation because they're going to hurt themselves, you're in a trauma bond. If you have people around you that are telling you, like, they're worried about you, you need to leave the relationship, you're in a trauma bond. If you leave a person, try to leave, and you end up immediately having this intense feeling of longing because you miss them and you can't move on and blah, 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 you are in a trauma bond. If you are being punished ever from this person, and getting the silent treatment because they think that you did something wrong that they perceive to be wrong, you're in a trauma bond. If your friends and family are disturbed by things that they either know, they've heard your person do, anything like that, and you seem to not think anything of it, you're in a trauma bond. Okay? Grieving, people think like we're going to be angry about this stuff and this, that, and the other thing, but it's actually really sad because it's like you thought this person was like the love of your life, right? And it's like, no, sweetheart, they're not. I'm sorry. Like, but journal your emotions, journal the journey that you had with this person. Like, you need to get this out because I know I isolate. I'm a private person. I was taught to be that way growing up. Not taught, but that's how I was brought up. I was brought up to not tell anybody anything. Why? Because my mother was in a trauma bond all the time. And that's also BPD, abandonment issues, paranoia. That's the whole another stem of the mother wound and borderline personality disorder. I hate that word. But anyways, it's like, that's a love-hate cycle too. That just goes right back into it. You can have borderline personality disorder and not even know it, had the love-hate cycle as your abusive cycle. Like, all trauma relationships intertwine in some way. They're entangled in some way, shape, or form. But if you want to be out of this relationship, you got to start talking to somebody, a therapist, yourself, heal yourself. Like, grieving is like the main thing, because like you're grieving over something you thought was. You're grieving over a person that you thought was. Before I even did this video, I was bawling my eyes out because I'm doing it right now, and that's why I wanted to do the video, because I know how badly it hurts. But again, there's so many reasons why we stay with these kinds of people, and it's like, at the same time, it can do with your inner child. Like, my dad yelling at me all the time when I was younger, so I thought I was always going to get in trouble, but like then he'd be nice to me, and then it'd be, you know, it can be the same exact thing. You can have a trauma bond with a parent, with your family, and it becomes a cycle in all your other relationships. So if you have a person in your life right now that you just can't seem to, like, let me see if I have anything that I missed. Okay, there's no judgment in journaling. Join a group so you know that you're not alone and you're not crazy. Do a partial program or something. I think that's it. But yeah, it's not an easy thing. But my sex life, when it comes to trauma bonds, it's me being addicted to that. And the intimate, physical touching and that kind of, you know, whatever, rough sex, tough, like, intimately, like, loving, like, both at the same time, like, that means something to me. The value of a relationship, of how long it's been, means something to me, right? So it's like, I have so many reasons behind my sexual chakra healing. It was like love. Sex is love. And it's always been like that. And I don't know why. I don't know where it came from. I've been sexually abused before by, you know, my cousin and some other kid. And I kind of consider, but don't, because I just did it just to do it. But the ones that, like, I said no to, and I was like, I can't even say forced, because, like, I did it. You know what I mean? I wasn't, like, held against my will. Like, I wasn't, like, being raped or anything, like, in that, you know, put down and, like, forced to do it. But, like, I felt forced because they wouldn't stop. And at that time and point, I didn't know any better. So I consider that being sexually abused as well, or harassed or whatever. But I would say abused just for the fact that, like, I didn't want to do it, but I just did so they would leave me the frig alone, you know? And if you don't, then think about your own self. Think about how you look at sex. But I'm going to actually do Reiki healing for this situation. This can affect you in so many ways. Your immune system is everything. You want to really make sure that your immune system is active and healthy and going. I'm going to watch this video, and if I missed anything, I will add to it. If not, I hope this helped. You might miss them for you don't even know how long, okay? Because I'm healing from a trauma bond right now, and it's not easy, and everything that I learned is true. But it hurts even worse when it's a limerence relationship and it's not an actual commitment. Because a limerence is a fantasy, so it's even harder. Because you're led to believe certain things that are hard to not use your head. Okay, so like if you don't know what's going on in something, you end up creating your own stories, which creates your own trauma. And it could be like absolutely not true whatsoever, and it's just an illusion, but you just put yourself through that. So you gotta be really patient with yourself with the healing, and really open up and vent to other people and trust, like, because we don't tell people. It's embarrassing that we put up with what we put up with. And that's another warning. All right, guys. I love you all. I hope this helped.
I can't stand it, 'cause you know what to do with that big fat butt. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
I forgot a couple things. I already forgot one of them, but I don't know. So one of the things was, the more you heal, the more you get out these memories, the more you get out these feelings, the more that you talk about everything that you were embarrassed about, everything that you isolated yourself with, everything that you were manipulated with. The more that you talk about it, the more they're released. The more it's out there. The more it's not a secret anymore. The more you don't have to hide it. You don't have to hold it within yourself. Release it. Let it go. Like, stop holding on to the memories. And the more you do that, the more room you're making for yourself in your head that's rent-free, space-free, but for good thoughts and creativity and future, like, ideas and, like, you know, so it's like, once you can get these, like, negative thoughts out of your head, the more room you're clearing for better things to come in, so you're letting go of the old and letting in the new. So that was one thing I forgot. Because creativity is like everything, and like we lost that as children as well, so it's like you have to go back to like a playful nature. There was something else, but I don't remember.
I wanna keep my reputation. I'm a sensation. You try me once.
I remember now. Okay. The thing that I was going to say is, I've been healing from my trauma bond for a very long time now. So with my situation, it's like, I was realizing, I wasn't really doing this, but like I was realizing, like, here and there, like I'd be like, why did I just think that? Like, why did I just, like, you know, whatever. But if I would have acted on it, it would have caused problems. Like, it would have caused drama. You know, but it was all lies. Like, there was one thing I did with my mom, and it was crazy. And I was like, I don't even fucking know how I thought that. Thought it for like 2 days. I cried about thinking that it was true, and it was out of this world, like, crazy. And I was just like, why am I thinking this? Like, I knew it wasn't even true, but I was like, it's because I wanted to, like, start shit in my own head of being addicted to the drama, the trauma, the stress release, and then the cortisol, and then the hormones of the endorphins and the dopamine and serotonin, and it's like boom, 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 and it's like, I don't know why I just did that, but whatever, I did. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, even with my head clearing, I can see my house, I can see things like gradually getting better. It's really weird. Like, like I would be like before, like, not wanting to do anything, not knowing what to do with myself, like, you know, whatever. And now I'm like getting up and doing something that I feel like I was having trouble forcing myself to do before. And I'm like, that's interesting. Like, no resistance whatsoever, just got up and did it. Yeah, it was weird. But the thing, like, with the acne and stuff, I realize that when I'm super stressed out, I get blackheads, like, above my lip, and I fucking hate it, because if I squeeze it out or whatever, like, it leaves like a little mark, and it looks like I had like a cold sore or something, and I didn't, and it's like embarrassing, and I don't like it, so it's annoying. So I kind of like just like let them stay there, and they'll eventually go away once like I'm in happy mode again. But like there's like little things, and it's just like, you can't tell. Nobody has ever known. I didn't even know. I knew, like, I realized it like so long ago, like not long ago, like 3 years ago, I realized my first one, but I was probably getting them forever. Like, I had no idea. And I don't have them all the time. Like, I looked in the mirror today and I'm like, they're gone. All 3 of them. Like, but they're not noticeable. So it's weird. But if I pop them, they are. Fuckers. But no, like, it's super weird. I'm just like, okay. Like, my house, like I'm getting like my shit together, like I'm cleaning, I'm organizing, I'm throwing away things that I don't need, like, You know what I mean? To let more stuff come in that I do need, and I'm grateful for that. This is not an easy thing, so be very, very, very loving with yourself. This is not easy. And if you miss them, don't allow yourself to not feel. Even if it was fake, even if, you know, it was something you thought it wasn't, you can still feel it. Because you are feeling it when you're upset. You're having emotions in it anyways. Feel the grieving. Let go. It's going to hurt. And if you say it doesn't hurt, it's because you're numbing. You're not feeling it. It's not easy. I purposely make myself cry during healing. So like there's certain things that I'll listen to, like songs, or I will purposely literally think of certain things that, yeah. But okay, I think that's it. You guys have a good day. I'm gonna do the healing in a little bit. Bye. Hey, baby boy. Oh. You should see the face he just gave me. Alright. Bye, guys.
Done for me, for you, baby, and only you, baby. The things I do, baby. But tell me what you've done for me.
Hope this helped. Thank you. Until next time. Bye.